He is going to be played on Frost as I'm going to jump in game. I still have not forget to switch scenes. Man, this is really some top 3 NA production today.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
Thank you, Johan. I appreciate it. And it takes a lot to get a compliment.
I'm sure it won't last, but so far.
It's just a matter of time before I show up wasted, right? Because that's what you expect from me. Blazing up on stream.
You only do that at Home Story Cup.
That's true.
Anyway, as I was saying, I think it's very interesting to see HerO here playing really, really well. I really think he's playing a lot right now. He's practicing a lot for Pro League, and it really showed. Those kind of builds, like the one we saw in Belcher, this is, I feel, exclusively because he's been playing a ton, and he's been practicing this kind of similar build. And one thing that we saw him do versus Terran in Pro League was getting a very quick blink and a quick third as well. He tried it versus Flash, and it did not go well, but there is a chance we might see something like this here.
I hope we do. I've seen a few games of Pro League this season. I haven't seen as much as I used to watch last season, mostly because the times are just in general horrific. And often I'm like playing and I'm watching the games in the second screen and just kind of switching in between. Either way, I'm excited to see this series, especially once more because this PvT looked a little shaky in the last few months of 2013. But I think, as you said as well, he should be in excellent shape. He should be playing a lot. He should be practicing a lot. And if you're able to defeat live, you should say that you are able, or at least capable of defeating ForGG as well. Either way, Liquid's HerO is of course our red Protoss spawning in the left bottom side of this map. You can go ahead, and I'm gonna fix my scoreboard as I just realized I have a scoreboard.
What's time are you at now?
I am at 2:36.
Okay, about the same. Yeah, nice scoreboard, man. Took you a while. You just started using it as soon as there is no more barcodes. Well done.
No scoreboard for a barcode PvP, but I have a scoreboard for a PvC. That's what I do, man. That's what I do.
And ForGG looks like he's the only player that's gonna go for a scout early on so far in this game. Whereas HerO, I've seen HerO do this a lot lately, where he walls off one side of the map or a corner of his base up to his nexus. I think he wants to make sure that Reapers, if they do get inside of his main and they want to see the back of his base, they cannot escape. If there is one Stalker, they will die to confirm the information. Now that's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember this class you did with KLRS on this game of what was the map? It was not All the Ring, sorry, Whirlwind. And then some Protoss had a really funky base layout, and you're like, why do you think he did that? And KLRS is like, I think it's to trap a Reaper. And you're like, what? That sounds ridiculous. And then a little later, like trap the Reaper, and later on, trap the Hellions. And I started laughing so hard, and you were kind of giggling too. KLRS was on the money, man.
Yeah.
Every now and then he has some dicey predictions.
No third Python. Okay, it's gonna start now for HerO, and with that very quick second guess, he's still basically gonna have every option still opened to take into whatever he wants. By the way, that scout by HerO, isn't it like super interesting? The way he went around the Reaper and managed to get into the main of his opponent.
Yeah, he got some massive scout over here, even though he doesn't see anything unorthodox, other than the fact that this is... Yeah, there's a really quick eBay. That could of course be because Terrans are afraid of oracles on this map, but now I think he started wiggling a little bit over here as well, bumping those vaults or whatever it is. So he knows that there's going to be a ridiculously quick +1 for ForGG, so he can kind of anticipate on that.
Oh, and quick Twilights. This might be what I talked about. I don't think this is going to be for DTs, because usually if you put it in this position, you expect it to be scanned, and DTs is the thing that you don't want to see scanned, whereas Blink, if your opponent scans it, you're like, well, you can see that I'm gaining Blink, but I'm still going to screw you.
We see 2 additional Rexes going now for ForGG. It's something we've seen a lot of Bomber as well in the previous days. Just a lot of bio units early on, especially with +1. He might be able to put on some serious pressure on HerO, and especially if you open up with Blink. Of course, Blink can be excellent aggressive. It can also be really good defensive, but it's a lot better in defending drops than defending a straight up push. Especially if he uses a lot of that gas for Stalkers and he doesn't have too many sentries. It could still get rather tricky to defend his natural if ForGG indeed decides to move out in the early phase in this game.
It's weird because he's, oh, that Reaper should die. And this is the reason he makes this base too. And it's interesting that as Warpgate was about to finish, HerO still let that one Stalker finish up from his gateway. I guess he's just gonna morph that as soon as possible and start making an additional stalker. Oh no, he's going for the third Nexus. So remember, this is the same build that he went for against Flash. And he was scouted as well versus Flash. He went for the blink, he was scouted, he started the third base, but then Flash did a great timing with which he managed to kill HerO.
Now, against 2 Rexes, you know, this might be possible to hold. It's going to be tricky, but it's doable. Against 3 Rex, however, ForGG is going to have a ridiculous amount of units. Stim is not super quick. It is going to be finishing up roughly at the same time, I guess, as the first Medivacs will join the battlefield. It's not impossible to hold, because I've seen crazier holds in the past by, like, Oz as well. But it's still, like, man, ForGG's army is going to be so much stronger in the straight-up engagement than HerO's army.
I like that he's trying to do some damage onto that bunker while only losing his shield at maximum. How many gateways will be made behind these? 2 additional ones were made at first, but HerO is definitely gonna need a lot more than that. I
love how HerO is he's kind of pretending as well, like he's going for a big blink commitment.
Definitely,
ForGG is even getting a few Widow Mines.
I think that's exactly what he's doing, actually. I thought he wanted to apply maybe a little bit more pressure than that, but I think he's just quite fine with keeping his opponent pinned inside of his base. And ForGG is actually not overreacting either. He's not getting siege tanks, he's not getting any kind of bunkers, he's getting some Widow Mines, which are not really going to help against this, but later on could prove helpful.
ForGG decides to push out a little bit, even picks up 1 Stalker. That's more than you normally can hope for in this phase in the game.
The gateway
ForGG is going to pick up 5 more gates being added, so HerO is going to go up to 8 gate. The moment charge is ready, he should be able to warp in enough units to defend against whatever ForGG is going to throw at him. But still, it's going to be even in upgrades. It's going to be +1 against 0-1 by the time they fight, at least I think. And maybe these Widow Mines, because there is no detection, can do some serious damage.
And the Medivac is going to be...
First Widow Mine is going to kill...
Oh, HerO does not see it. Let's see.
6 probes.
Wow.
And that second mine as well. Gets a probe.
Maybe a stalker? Okay, got 1 stalker and 1 probe. And HerO, I mean, he's lost some important probes here, but behind this, he's still gonna have the great saturation on 3 bases that he needs to have. He started a cannon in his natural. ForGG is pushing now with some nice force fields. HerO, he buy himself enough time here to finish charge. And as you say, charge is gonna finish as those 8 gateways are ready. So now he can make Zealots 8 by 8. Oh, huge detonation on the natural of HerO. He lost a whole bunch more probes here.
I didn't see it. What I do see is that those are some good forces by HerO once more, and he will be able to chip away the majority of that, or cut some units off that army from ForGG. HerO is producing 3 probes at a time. So how many probes did he lose? He lost, wow, 18 workers already. But he's still sitting on a minor worker late, but above all, he's sitting on 3 bases. Well, there's not even a 3rd command center yet. It just went down for ForGG.
Yeah, ForGG really committed to aggression here, and he didn't achieve much. He killed a bunch of probes. Actually, 18 in total. That's quite a lot. But HerO, he didn't care. He played this Zerg style. I lose 20 drones, I remake 40, I don't care. And he's remade a ton of probes. He's on 51 probes against 45 SCVs now. He's still making probes very continuously. And he knows his opponent doesn't have a 3rd base yet. So ForGG committed to aggression. He did some damage, but not enough to secure himself a lead that he could go for some follow-up after. And now HerO, he finds himself in a situation where he's making a ton of Zealots at the time with his 8 gateways. He's probably going to want to go into Templars and add extra gateways, and then from there push that.
I kind of wonder if he's getting Templar Archives before he decides to add a few more gateways. Because like right now it's still the phase in the game where Charge Lords and Link Stalkers are excellent. There we do see the Templar Archives going down. If the armies keep growing, then it's going to get worse for HerO. Either way, I think HerO should be capable of defending this. And so some reasonable force field, but now he should back off because they're working against him. He's swapping in 7-8 Charge Lords at a time.
Nice micro by ForGG here, picking off one of those Stalkers, almost getting another one. As they had blinked forward, still no extra gateways being made by HerO here. He's gonna start to have a lot of money here very soon. And ForGG's 3rd command center is finished. He's added on extra barracks. He's gonna add even more, and he's getting the armory with only 1 engineering bay actually. So should be for the +2 attack upgrades.
He's gonna try to maybe pick up a Stalker or something like that. It's crazy that HerO still has that pylon up outside of the natural from ForGG. If HerO stabilizes, he can start wrapping in a few Zealots there. That could be really annoying. A Widow Mine in this push as well picks up the Zealot and deals a little bit of splash damage. +2 is about to finish up though for HerO, and considering the fact that he has Archons as well, I think he's safe. That's
I
a
think he
good
should
time
go for a
warp.
fight here. Oh, he's gonna try to time warp the army. He gets it. Blink forward, maybe. He's gonna chase this army down.
Zealot's getting kited right now, but still, HerO just has so many units. Like you said, it's Zerg style. You can kind of throw away a few units. We can just have so much production behind this. ForGG is going to try to go up to 3 bases right now, but the next time they fight, there will be High Templars in the mix as well. And indeed, Johan, HerO is just looking really solid this game so far. I really like the way that he played this. He played this with no fear. He's been... okay, he took a little bit too much damage from the Widow Mines, because he still has no Observer out on the map, and he can hardly build cannons everywhere, so this Widow Mine is annoying. And, unless he starts getting doubled.
Few extra gateways are being made here. HerO finally gonna start a robo. ForGG is gonna press forward. Storm is being researched now. No Ghost Academy underway for ForGG. And I think HerO realizes that with those proxy pylon and the upgrades he has, he can do very well right now. He's up against a Terran that's 1-1. He has +2 armor upgrades. He has a ton of Zealots, a great production capability. So I think he's gonna go for a timing and try and do as much damage as possible, if not kill his opponent. Nice wall of depots, by the way. This is really cool.
Yeah,
ForGG here.
it helps so much against this heavy charcoal style that HerO is currently playing. Oh, my mouse was bugging out there for a second. Sorry, guys. But, everything seems to be under control. As ForGG still has a minor army lead, but by the moment, actually 2 Zealots were able to enter the main base. HerO picked up a few SCVs, not too many. ForGG really has to start taking care of these pylons. He even knows that that pylon is there. There's one more on the north side, which he doesn't know about yet. Might know about soon. Still though, we even see a Warp Prism on the map right now. We might see some Storm drops by HerO. Or he's just going to use it to...
HerO is one of those Protosses, man. When he has Storm and he has a Robo, you already know it's coming. And ForGG is actually moving across the map. I think he's convinced he has to do damage before there is Storm, before there is Colossus. Except for him, Storm already finished, and I don't think it's going to go well for him.
Nope. There's still Poisons as well. I love how HerO is still using sentries pretty well in this phase in the game. First Storm lands pretty big, I'd say. Does quite a bit of damage. Doesn't kill a whole lot.
SCVs were pulled.
Wow. All these force fields are so useful. It's buying so much time for HerO, makes it so much harder for ForGG to run up this ramp. And HerO is still producing a lot of units behind all this. And not a big Storm. Still here, Jon?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, I didn't want to be that guy that talks on it. Meanwhile, this fight is going reasonably well, I want to say for ForGG, but while I'm saying that, actually he's losing the majority of his bio units. There are so many Zealots just ripping apart most of these units. And HerO, with all the production that he has, he can just spam units, and ForGG is fighting micro for his dear life. He has lost 40 SCVs during all this.
And that fight lasted so long. Look at the medivacs. They don't have any energy anymore. ForGG had to steam many times. He has to steam again. Look at his units. They don't have any hit points left. He's gonna get chased down. There is enough Zealots here to get rid of this. With the Stalkers in support, the 4 Stalkers. More force fields being used. 18 minutes force fields against a huge army. ForGG is now or never. He pulled SCVs. He cannot go back. He cannot follow this up with anything. He has to press forward, but too many units are being warped in by HerO. Storms are almost ready on some of the Templars. Nice snipe on one of them. I think it's just going to be too much here by HerO.
Yep, GG is called. ForGG will tap out, and HerO is going to take the first game here on Frost after his really solid performance. He played it ballsy, he played it without fear. Went up to 3 bases while pretending he was going for a Blink Stock roll in, but the opposite was true. Took some damage from the Widow Mines, but overall just a really solid game by HerO. He kept his money low at all time. I really loved how he used those sentries that late in the game, because often it's like you use a few sentries early on to survive, and after that, you know, later maybe you have 1 or 2 sentries to pop a Guardian Shield, but that's about it. But he kept buying time, kept zoning out units with those force fields. Just did a phenomenal job, I think.